For me in the wildlife, with the animals that you're going to encounter so that you know what the behaviors are, learning how an animal behaves, where it's likely to be found, or how to find them is half of what you need to do. The other thing is I feel very fortunate that I collaborate with usually world experts who have an area of either local knowledge or knowledge about something specific and can give even more in-depth understanding into the animal behavior, the location, the currents, or what that I'm going to anticipate, so that I can put myself in the right places. But I think one of the things that I look back on my early life, I think it was diving and taking pictures because I loved it, and learning about the animals and their behaviors allowed me to find the animals first. And not everything just swims right in front of you and is so obvious. Like the little things can be the most interesting, but learning to find something subtle is really wonderful. And sometimes, like, if you can just imagine walking down the street, you don't notice the way the leaves blow the first time, but if you walk it over and over again, all of a sudden the scent of the road, the way the leaves move, and those little rhythms become much more interesting. And so having a little more familiarity lets you get more comfortable to get those more intimate moments that maybe only you see, or that a few other people who experience it see and photograph our periods of photograph. So I think that's, to me, what a lot of preparation allows for, all while having the understanding that things happen like this and you have to be ready to react in a moment's notice.
Especially when I'm photographing other people, like in Cuba, I like to talk to them a little bit before I make photographs of them. Mostly because I wasn't only there just to photograph, but I also wanted to learn from their stories and learn their experiences. And from that, it helped inform how I wanted to take the image, where I would want to take the image, if we wanted to include some like artifacts of theirs and such like that. And a lot of the times it was also like a collaboration with them of how they wanted to photograph, like be presented in the photograph. Like that one of the photographs, the older couple on the steps, that's Havo and Eldi. When I was photographing them, he's like, I want you to snap the picture when I'm like bringing the bottle up to my lips. So he's like, I want you to show me like drinking this. And so a lot of times it's a collaboration with the people of kind of bring in their own personalities and experiences within the image, rather than either projecting my view or my ideology, I guess, on them, and having a little bit more of their voice within the image.
Well, I'm trying to document a lot of natural behavior, so I would like to have as little direct impact on the animals. In the underwater world, what's really amazing is they have to want to come close. I mean, it's a big ocean out there, and they can swim away quite easily. So in order to do this, there has to be some sort of little momentary connection between the animal and myself, to be able to get to a range where I can actually make a picture that's reasonable. And so it's a wonderful sort of feeling to learn how to move your body, to interact in a place, to be a silent observer, but also to be someone that can be in a position to actually capture something that's occurring, feeding behavior, a mating kind of thing, a curious whale that wants to swim up to you that is interested in something, shark that is interested in sort of moving around you. And so those moments are natural and happen on their own way, but getting in the right place or positioning oneself for those to happen is really an art form in and of itself, and something I also spend a fair amount of time working on, is how to be in the right place at the right time. And you always want to be in two places, and you're never in the right place, and nor do I ever have the right lens and all that kind of stuff. And so there are all a million reasons why things don't work out, but every now and then you have success, and it feels really wonderful.
I'm definitely trying to engage in the environments that I am photographing, mostly because I want to create those relationships, but also like having the camera that I have, walking around a lot of these like small towns in Cuba, a lot of times we would hear like chatter of like people like I would be known in that little town of like there'd be like this person walking around with this big contraption thing. Yeah, when I want to photograph, I definitely want to connect as much as I can with the people and create a relationship.
It's really the power of observation for me that is what's so interesting, and I really enjoy that moment, and I enjoy it not just with the camera to take the picture, but I enjoy the power of actually learning to look and watching something for a while. And I find that to be one of the most enjoyable experiences, to just sort of sit and look.
Even when I'm not photographing, I keep on observing, trying to find like the little details that like really make a scene, and make like almost mental images in my mind of like inspiration of like possibly making that image later.
In terms of tips for people, I think one thing is to pick something that is easily accessible. So in my case, I like wildlife, but so if we were thinking of animals, I might pick animals that are local. If it's a robin that has a nest right in your yard, a squirrel, a cat, or something that you're comfortable with, and think of what do you want to say about that animal or that plant, or what would you like it to look like, and what time of day are you photographing this? And instead of having things be arbitrary, pause for a moment and think, what do you want the image to say, or what would you like to tell someone about that plant? Why do you like that flower that stopped and took that picture? And then begin to think about what are the shape, the form, the color, the time, and what is it that you really like about it that caused you to pause in that way. And I think as you begin to question yourself of what you want to say about it, the images, I would encourage you to then take a few other images and say, well, how can I enhance what it is I would like to convey about it? Do I want to be close to the subject? Do I want to be far from it? Do I want to be looking down? Do I want to be looking up? And, I think those are the elements that you begin to have. And so instead of it just, oh, I snapped this picture and I really liked it, to notice that and to really begin to sort of ask yourself what you want to say about it.
With photography, think about a topic or an emotion or something that you're like deeply involved with or passionate about, or that you find yourself wanting to express or talk about, and then think of the ways that you can showcase that within photography.
And I would just end on one quick thing. Golfing is easy, bike riding is easy, but these people practice over and over again. And no one believes me, but it's a skill to do this stuff. And you have to practice this over and over again. And I love doing this photography, and I'm sure Caterina does as well. And so it's something you do over and over again. And so it's not just that I walk up to something and I get one time lucky on this, although maybe that does happen. These are skills that I'm working on constantly, on getting myself ready. So the reflexes, boom, I'm right here with the camera and I'm ready for it. Boom, my lights are right where I want them. I'm very aware of those things. And I think that practice is really critically important in the art of photography and storytelling at whatever subject you're interested in photographing. So my number one tip is to find a subject that you like, photograph it, and think about what you want to say about it.